Okay, so we should be there now. So thank you everybody for joining this training session. So I think we're roughly halfway through most of the trainings now. I know we have several more due in October and a couple in November. So thank you to the relays team here that will be talking through signal and power relays. So don't want to take any of your time. I will hand over to you all to introduce yourselves and to train the sales team here. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. The way we would like to do is first we will go around the PM organization update. And during that, I will give all the PMs who are on the call to give maybe a 10-15 seconds introduction about themselves. And then I will hand over to Christian Netz, who will cover the one part of the relay training today, and then followed by Kathy. Let me share my screen briefly here. I wanted to explain to you to the whole team how we are organized or how we are structured, and we'll go from there. So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
We can.
Okay, excellent. So again, all the sales team, thanks for taking time to join this training. Very happy about it and would like to train about our products. But before that, I want to give a quick update on our organization. I think in all industrial and definitely in relays and PS subvertical, we are organized in a matrix form. What does that matrix mean? We have a regional teams and the global teams. So what you see on my screen from this side to the right-hand side, you have a regional organization. For example, Americas and EMEA, we have a regional PM leader and all the regional PMs and the field application engineers who are going to report to the regional PM leader. On the left-hand side, you have the product organization or the global product organization, which is where one particular group handles all the global product management team of that particular CBC3. So today we are talking about signal and high power. I lead the signal and high power global PM team, and I have 3 team members, Andres, Rick, and Chao, and who handle each one CBC4. And similarly, today we have EMEA team on the call, and yeah, Michael leads the team, and from that team we have Kathy and Christian. So first, very quickly about myself, I'm located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with TE for almost 9 years now, and I handle the global PM team. And maybe Michael, you want to talk a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm new to the team, so I started 1st of September. Just starting my role, curious to work together with you and also with the global product managers, because in the end, we hope that with this regional setup, we are making the link between the product ideas and the whole ideation and really bring this also into the market. So that means I'm happy for that invitation so much, but also I'm also glad to have 2 of my guys presenting here. And in the end, if there is any kind of question with respect to a specific your EMEA need, we would like to collect this information. We would like to support you in the face of the customer, and also feed that information into the organization, so that Somesh and the other global product managers are in the end condensing that into new propositions and new products. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Maybe Christian and Katrina, a quick 15 seconds update from about yourself.
Very quick here. Good morning, everybody. Schönen guten Tag. Christian Netz, mein Name. Ich bin's bei TE. I'm basically part of TE Connectivity's product management since 9 years. I'm based out of Germany. I'm based out of Darmstadt in Hessen and specifically. And thank you for having you all here.
Kathy?
Okay, I will go next. Yeah, so welcome all to the training today. My name is Katharina. I'm based in the Weidhofen TE plant for relays in Austria. I'm working for TE since 2007 already, but before I was always in the operational portion of the team. Since beginning of May, I now take the role of the regional PM for PPI, so panel plug-in, as well as circuit breakers and signal relays that we're talking today in the as a regional responsibility for that. So more towards the customer in this case.
Thank you, Kathy. Andres? last but not least.
Thank you very much so much. Well, I'm Andries de Bruin, typical Dutch name, probably very difficult to pronounce for many of you. I joined TE since March this year. I got a history at the competition at Omron. I'm glad I can now be part of the Orange team, as I get used to, of course, from the Netherlands. I report to Somesh, and I work very close with Kathy, John, and Stephen regarding the promotion and positioning of the signal rate portfolio.
Thank you, Andries. So with that introduction about the team, I wanted to quickly give a very high-level overview about what the CBC3 of Signal and High Power is, and then we can get onto the details by Christian and Kathy. So this CBC3, Signal and High Power, has 3 different portfolios within. Number 1 is a signal relays portfolio, and then is a 30 amp portfolio and a new energy relays. I'm sure you have some basic understanding of what relay is. Very briefly, the signal relays are designed to meet a very specific need in the electronic industry, which is switching very low currents and voltages. If you think about the whole application spectrum, this is on the very low power side. For example, IM relays, which is our latest generation, and probably one of the largest GPL for us, around $25–26 million globally. This relay is one of the smallest relay on the market, right? 5 mm. You can fit this on the thumbnail. Similarly, 30 amps is a next generation. Next power level, right? So there is a signal relays 8 amps, 10 amps, 16 amps, and on the board we have the highest level up to 30 amps, and this is the whole portfolio which deals with 30 amps and other products. The key products here are T90, T9, GT92. And new energy is an upcoming product portfolio. It is used in very diverse set of applications. I'm sure Christian would cover that, but you can see that these 3 are distinct, yet on an application front, more or less these products work together. For example, one application which I'd like to give is new energy, which is battery management systems in automotive. You might feel inverters using T9SV, whereas in the signal switching you might use an IM relay, right? So there are some synergies, but to a large extent these 3 are distinct portfolios within a CBC3 level portfolio. I have 3 team members. As I said, Chao and Rick are located in China, and they have a Golden Week holiday this week, so they're not able to join us. But Chao is responsible for 30 amps and Rick for the new energy relays. Andries is for signal, and he's available on the call today. With that high-level introduction, I want to give it to Christian. Maybe you want to take it forward, Christian.
Thank you very much, Somesh. Yeah, I'm about to share my screen. Please let me know if you can see it now.
Yeah. Yes, we can.
All right, super. So this is one of my value proposition slides. I normally show customers who were not really in touch with the relay and PSF subvertical before. It's not really so much about the product, it's also more about the value we as a team can bring. The team consisting not just out of product managers, but also field application engineers, a decent laboratory in our plants, and of course the global PMs in the background. We have 65 years of relay experience. So really coming from strong brands such as Spack and Potter and Brumfield, we are building up that experience, and we are at the moment also heavily investing not just in, let's say, expanding capacity, but also the new products, as Somesh was pointing out, because we are really would like to grow into a few major trends here. With those 65 years, of course, a robust supply chain comes. We produce most of our relays, so most, not all, but most of the relays really internally, which means we have a robust supply chain and sourcing strategy in the background. We have a strong vertical integration of most of our innovation steps, engineering steps, but also production steps, which means in our plants, so normally in Weidhofen or in Évora in Portugal or in Trutnov in the Czech Republic, we have also our development engineering close to the factory, and also the automation teams. The automation teams are something I also always highlight because it really points into the high quality level aspiration of our subvertical, because most of our relays are being semi or fully automated produced because of cost and economy of scale reasons. One of our competency fueled by our field application engineers is really our design incompetency. So it really is a difficult product, I would say, quite different versus a connector, and a little bit more similar like a sensor, because every time a customer has a specific load, and this is basically in all of the cases that case, we really have to test and pressure test our relay according to the customer specific load in our factories. So it's nice that you have a high-level data sheet, but it's not enough to move forward for a complicated design. And this is where our strengths come into play, because we have an application knowledge, not just with our field application engineers, but also with our test laboratories. And we have one VDE and UL certified test laboratory in Weidhofen in Austria, and also another one in Shenzhen in China, which is also super crucial for time to market, because you do not have to certify then in addition at a third party such as the VDE at the end of the day. We definitely provide end-to-end support. This means all hands on deck by our field application engineers with our test engineers and the PMs. We have a global presence, especially for the larger A and B accounts. This really matters, because when they design in a product somewhere in the US or in Europe and move the production over to China, we really have to provide global support. So speaking now on my portfolio, and also in terms of application focus groups, and I hope you are more or less familiar already with those ones. I focus with 4 CBCs on a couple of focus applications. For the discussion of today, under Somesh's product portfolio, we talk about in specific about the PCB 30M portfolio and also about the new energy portfolio. On the new energy portfolio, we mainly focus on major applications such as warehouse automation and battery energy storage and electric vehicle infrastructure applications. Why? Very easy, because today the 10-year market growth CAGR in both of these applications are perceived to be grown by 25% every year until 2030. And our market share inside of TE is somewhere around 1 and 2%. So plenty room for improvement. And this is where we spend most of the time at the moment, at least what I do together with my field application engineer here in Europe, in order to gather customer information, prepare the voice of the customer and the product specification documents. And last but not least, this also leads to new products. We also focus on onboard charging applications. So this is a strange thing between the industrial business unit and the automotive business unit, but we also collaborate around the globe with automotive OEMs and tier 1 and tier 2 suppliers. The really up to 30M portfolio is a mix out of mature products and newer products. Here, our market share is, depending how you look at it and which region you are, somewhere between 10 and 20%. So also here room for improvement. And our top applications here are HVAC applications and also appliances. HVAC applications also see a major growth push at the moment because of the heat pump trend and the electrification of our energy production in our domestic homes. When we talk a little bit more about how I defend or how basically I allocate my resources, I have a couple of portfolios where I defend more at the moment, where basically I put my money on that we would like to grow and defend, depending which product code we talk about. And these are really major volume and revenue drivers in our European in our European assignment. For the portfolio, what we discussed today, these are perceived from a revenue point of view still too low, but as I said, really 30% of my focus, and I had a discussion with our field application engineering, 50% of the focus is really going into the new energy sector. So really, we are heavily investing time in order to understand the market requirements, prepare the launches, and get the products out of the door. So also here you get, for example, mixed, let's say, inquiries from the market, depending where you are. It could be really growth related. So customers really either are not yet aware about our portfolio, or sales need to be supported by product trainings and, let's say, virtual training sessions or on-site customer visits. And you also get, let's say, mixed support from the regional product management team if you have more a defend portfolio, where basically logistics, pricing, quality matters more and will be emphasized. So new energy for us is not just a buzzword, it's really happening. Yeah, this is one of the major charts I always try to use in order to share our vision over the next 10 years. And these are the forecasted charging points, either residential, so AC charging, so the wall boxes at home, or in blue, the DC chargers, the ultra high speed or hyper charging piles, which you can find along our autobahn and highways. What is basically fueling our vision in order to prioritize at the moment DC charging is the content per application. And independent from the installed charging points, and maybe the dimensions of the bars are misleading, the content for T Connectivity Industrial is similar between the orange bar and the blue bar. So we really see growth for DC relays, DC contactors, and also for AC relays at the same time and at the same value. This is an example of how we basically prepare our teardown. These are the usual suspects for hypercharger applications, Alpitronic or Tritium. And you see also here the content per application for DC charging for DC contactors is perceived to be somewhere around between 200 and 300 euros per application. So whenever you, for example, have the chance and the opportunity to talk with a customer in the future about electrification of the charging, when you talk about AC or DC charging infrastructure, the pure content per application, hence the opportunity for us, could be quite huge. So 300 euros per unit is a lot. With that, we basically moved into new product developments. And we have, let's say, a more busy and a more complex slide, which I basically skip at the moment, which shows the comprehensive roadmap. I just focus at the moment for the new product introductions, which is really around the corner, the ECK 150 up to 250 amps DC contactor portfolio, which goes definitely into the charging application in the future, but also in electric forklifts and also autonomous guided vehicles of our customers. We also will focus in our new energy environment on battery energy storage systems. So no energy production or consumption without a storage in between, which is one of the, let's say, white spots in Europe versus China today from an offering point of view of the available customers. But Europe is catching up also for BESS. When we think about a specification, we have usual suspects in the market. This slide is super busy, don't get lost. It's more about to learn about the usual suspects of our competitors. These are in many cases Chinese driven. So Chinese competition across AC relays or DC contactors are all over present, but also we have a few US based competitors such as Gigavac. So the DC contactors go into DC chargers, long story short, but as I said, the content per application is also super critical for AC wall boxes and AC onboard chargers in that market segment. And here we are looking back for a legacy portfolio, which goes up to 50 or even 50 amps of switching capability. Is a really, really high volume. contrary to the signal, let's say, definition we all know up to 5 amps. This is really up to 50 amps or even beyond. For some of the latching relays, we can even go up to 120 amps of switching capability. We have a portfolio mainly coming at the moment out of China. So I was highlighting at the beginning of my presentation some of the relay manufacturing sites based out of Europe. The new energy portfolio is mainly produced in China because here we have at the moment the largest total available market still available. And also for local strategies, this makes totally sense. So we offer this year definitely our T92 relay up to 40 amp, our T92H relay, a little bit extended up to 50 amp of switching capability. And also for onboard charging opportunities, we can offer a T9V relay. And since this is also being used in automotive applications, I think we also have to highlight here our quality philosophy. So you know that better than I do, coming from a very strong automotive background at ERNI, that we also can produce here relays with a single-digit ppm target on our automated lines. That's just a data sheet of the T92H, the extended relay just that you have seen and heard about it very quickly. So just within the 2 minutes, the PCB up to 30 amp, where we have the T9A or the T9G and also a minor solid-state portfolio. This is a portfolio which is at the moment really growing from a book-to-bill ratio, really double-digit, roughly in the 50% and 60% scale here in Europe. Still, the base is small. The outlook is really fantastic also for the next year. And here I would like to highlight here our T9G series, which is the successor of a T9A relay. This is a general purpose power relay up to 30 amp. And the new relay will be way smaller. We have a way better availability. If I'm not mistaken, we are the only manufacturer in Europe and within that product domain, within the product category, producing also in Europe, here in our Évora plant in Portugal, which is a huge supply chain advantage versus competition. Then, of course, you can see, hey, we're the greatest, less energy, less space consumption. Yeah, the usual marketing speech. With that, I would like to pause, maybe for any questions if time allows, and if not, we directly jump over to Cassie. Maybe if there is a question, please let me know. I take silence as no. And Katharina, please continue.
Okay, then I will take over. Let me also share my screen and let me know once you see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Perfect. Good. So what is missing from this whole CBC3 is now the signal relays in its own CBC4. In general, we're talking about here about a long history of products within the signal side. The signal is going back to 1965 with the first generations. Then there are second, third, and fourth generation. Meanwhile, the big difference between all this generation is the size. So you can see this well on the picture that we are starting really with relays compared to 16 amp relays that are very huge compared to the IM relay that is now the fourth generation, our main product here. The performance itself doesn't change that much. So for you, it's very important to know that when you're talking about generations of signal relays, that the big step from generation to generation is simply in the size of the relay. This fact also leads to the fact that we have still in our portfolio several generations, but for the future, we are definitely going to promote only a few of them anymore. The other will stay in the business, but of course, then also going to end of life over the years. If you are more interested in the technical things for signal relays, I can hardly recommend a Learn-IT course that I also have done when I'm stepped in the signal portfolio. It's called signal relays. There's a very good explanation of all the generations, but today I want to really focus on our key products within the signal side. To give you an overview about what business we are talking of. So we are talking within the signal, we are talking about a huge percentage of IM relays. That is this fourth generation, that is the newest generation on the market. And then a portion that is also mentionable for the P2 relay. It's a third generation. And these two products within the signal portfolio are our high runners. So whenever you're going to promote outside of TE and you need to know for signal relays, then please push on P2 and IM relay. From this regional split, Europe is one of the biggest portion here, nearly half of the business. And we are working both with direct and channel partners, where the main focus currently is still on channel, because the signal relay itself has so much spread over so much allocations. A little bit more details. So let me start with the IM relay. So it is the fourth generation of signal relays. It's a very tiny relay with 10 and 6 and 5.7 millimeters from the space side. So there is really a minimum board space that is required to use that relay. And what is speciality at this relay, that also all pinnings are available within our portfolio. That means you can get the through-hole as well as the SMD versions on that relay. Certified against the standard certifications and typically used in many applications like industrial electronic, heating controls, signal multiplexing, PLCs. And there are also special versions within that portfolio that are going then up to 5 amps, where normally the signals are up to 2 amps. And that is really then for higher signal loads and for the automotive. For an example, one of our biggest direct customer, Hella, is using that in battery management system. To the history of the IM, we're coming out from several years of allocation on the IM relay because the demand was so high. Now, with the further increase of the production capacity in Weithofen, because you should know that there are 3 lines located in Évora that are working for the IM relay, and they set up one additional line in 2019 in Weithofen for this IM portfolio. And with that capacity increase, finally, after some years, we came over that allocation, means that we are now have the possibilities to really get competitive into the market again with short lead times. We currently between 8 and 12 weeks, depending on specials, manufacturing lead time. So especially in Europe, we should be very competitive to our other competitors. To the P2 relay, so it's the second product that is important within the signal portfolio. Here we're talking about the third generation. It's a little bit bigger from the size side, has therefore different versions of calls as well. And it's important that you know that there are also high frequency models within the portfolio. So whenever you talk about high frequency measurement testing equipment, then you can find the right product here as well. Also available as through-hole and SMD. So both versions are also available here. And there is one special type of that P2 relay. It's called the P2 Lighting. It's in general the same size of this P2, but it has a more contact gap. With that, it is suitable for the main application on LED lighting. You see it also here on the main switching load. So this is a typical load that is required for LED switching. Some words to the roadmap. As said, we developed generation over generation, currently we don't see really the necessity to go even smaller. Meanwhile, we have reached a kind of dimension that is very fitable for most of our customers. The main question now is which performance we can get out of the relay. And therefore, especially when we're talking about the IM relay, there are some smaller projects like footprint optimizations. And there's also a project that is worth to mention, the IMB extension. It's a special version of the IM. We're also here from the performance side. We are going to compete over MOSFET in this case. And here we're going to extend the existing platform. So that's the reason mainly for the IM relays. There are also going up several different projects to cleaning up the portfolio. So you will, when you're competing more with signal relays, you will got information that there are end-of-life products. As said, we are working now with Andries closely together to really clean up the portfolio. Main reason is older generations have more or less the same performance, but they are bigger. So from time to time, we have to also end of life the products here. To the roadmap, and what is most important for you when you're going to sell our products here, whom to contact. So I will spend some time here. Andries, he already introduced himself as the product manager on a global side. I will support you on the regional base. And then we have our FAE team, and as Christian already mentioned that, please really take this advantage that we have these field application engineers on board. They can answer all the technical details. They can support you by designing in the relays at the customer side. Here we have 2 persons for the European team that we can ask every time. It's Henrique and Stefan from our team, from the European PM team. So that was really high level summarized these products. Are there any main questions to the signal portfolio itself, or can I answer any question regarding the IM especially? Because as said, the IM is the main product to focus on. Please pay attention that we really focus with our promotion for the IM relay currently. Too fast? Everyone's.
We are very clear, or we completely missed it, right?
Yeah, that could be some of them.
Yeah, if no questions.
Hardly welcome any questions on that side.
Yeah.
I think generally speaking, this is a new team to these product ranges. So this is all going to be very, very new to them. I think a lot of the questions will come as they get in touch with their customers. So that their customers have not yet been allocated to them. So I think some of it will come later on, which is why it's so clear that you have your whom to contact sheet here, because I think that will be critical in the weeks and months to come.
Yeah, for sure. We will take everything and yeah, hardly support you here. And
some guidance.
It's not that
exactly.
easy with relays. I know that relay is very special. So I really recommend again to, if you want to take more steps into the relay technology, take that courses on the LearnIT platform. There are as well some courses for relay basics understanding, and they are very good for starting.
Good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kathy. If no further questions, Alan, give it back to you.
Okay, if we're all done, I don't have anything further to add apart from thanking the team here for taking the time out. You know, there's several of the team here from the Relays product management organization, so this was a big investment of their time and support for you guys. So I will stop the recording. If you can share the training materials, if that's an option. I know some of it might be proprietary. I will send an email to everybody with the link to this recording, and if you can then reply to that email with the relevant slide decks that you've shared with us today, that would be perfect.
Yep,
We'll
sure.
do so.
Okay, thank you, everybody.